Hey guys, hope everyone is having a great day. Previously, I created a tutorial on OBS that seemed to help a lot of people out. That was 2 years ago, and I want to create an updated and more in-depth tutorial which will tell you everything you need to know about OBS. Since this video is going to be a lot longer, I have timestamps on screen and in the video description to help you guys out. If you aren't streaming, this section isn't really important, so skip to the timestamp on screen right now. Most of you will either be streaming to YouTube or Twitch, so select the platform and server. Twitch has many different streaming servers in various locations, while YouTube only has 2 servers. Here is the section that you put your stream key in. Your stream key is what tells YouTube or Twitch which you can stream to. Be sure to keep the stream key a secret. If you suspect that the stream key has been leaked to somebody else, you can always press change stream key. To get your stream key on Twitch, you click your name at the top right, go to dashboard, and there will be many different tabs. What you want to do is click on the tab near the bottom labeled channel. Over here at the top of the page, you will see your stream key dotted out. For YouTube, what you want to do is at the top right, you want to click on your profile picture, go to YouTube Studio, and under missing features you will see a option called live streaming. You want to click that and scroll down until you find your stream key dotted out. Your base resolution is pretty much your screen resolution, whether it's your monitor or your game. Most monitors today support 1080p, but just because your monitor is 1080p doesn't mean your game is. Sometimes your game resolution is something completely different. In all games, to see your resolution or change it, you go to settings, video settings, and there should be a resolution setting over there. A game running at 1080p would be 1920 by 1080, running at 720p would be 1280 by 720, or sometimes if you're playing games like Counter-Strike, it may be slightly different. Just because I am going to set the stream up for 1080p, I will set the resolution to 1920 by 1080. Frame rate is really straightforward. If your PC and internet can run 60 FPS, then that is the obvious choice. However, if that's not the case, 30 FPS is good enough and it won't really hurt your stream quality. The bitrate determines how good your stream looks. If you have a slower internet connection, you need to know what the maximum bitrate your internet can handle is. To find the maximum bitrate your internet can handle is go to speedtest.net, take the upload speed you get, multiply it by 1000, and that is the maximum bitrate you can stream at. Remember, you still need some bandwidth to play your game, so take that number, subtract it by about 1000 to 2000, and that is the maximum bitrate your internet can handle before going oof. I have posted a link to a chart that Twitch has created to help streamers determine which bitrate they should use for each resolution and frame rate in the description. In OBS, encoders are pretty straightforward. OBS uses 3 main encoders, X264, NVENC, and QuickSync. Unless you have to, for some reason, never use X264. If you have an NVIDIA card that supports NVENC, then use that encoder as it is the best option. Otherwise, just use QuickSync. Now, depending on your PC, one may work better than the other, but most of the time NVENC is the better option. I've also posted an article in the description talking about which encoder you should use and the difference between each of them. Audio bitrate is also very straightforward. If you are a music streamer or stream something related to music, then you want the highest bitrate possible. Otherwise, 128 kilobits per second is ideal. Path is also straightforward. It's where you want your stream to be saved as a video on your PC. For the format, I use MP4, but it has one large downside. If the recording crashes, you may lose your entire video, so choose wisely. Audio isn't a very important one, but you may need to change it depending on your situation. Keep the sample rate at 44.1 kHz because that is the standard and no point in using a higher quality when people can't hear the difference. For audio channels, if you're playing a game that supports multi-channel surround sound, you can change that to the amount of channels in OBS. In the general tab, the only thing you might really want to change is under output. This box right here is something you might like to enable if you stream. When this box here is checked, while you stream, the stream is saved as a video file on your PC. One thing that you might want to modify in the advanced tab is your process priority. If for some reason you see your stream or recording lagging, you may want to set the OBS process priority to something higher. However, this can mess with things like your game, so best leave this at default. Okay guys, so now that we have our settings and everything out of the way, we're going to start creating our stream look. Our objective here is to make it look simple yet professional. If you look at majority of the streamers out there, most of their streams really are it's really simple. So to start off, we are going to create a scene. So what we're going to do here is we're going to name this scene screen. Okay? And we're going to add a display capture. What the display capture is, it's literally a display capture. So we're going to do that here. Hopefully I'm not lagging the other instance of OBS recording this. There we go. Simple and to the point. Now we're going to create a game scene. Now over here, what we're going to do is we're going to add a game capture. Now, what's the difference between a display capture and a game capture? Now, a lot of games run in a full screen mode, meaning that you can't pick them up with display capture. So there's a certain setting you use with OBS, game capture. Now over here, you can set it to capture any full screen application, which I'm going to leave it to now. But if say you have a certain setup for each game, you might want to capture a specific window. There you go. And you can capture really anything here. So I'm just going to leave it to capture any full screen application. Press OK. Now we're going to add a few other things. We're going to add a face cam, video capture device. Now in this case, it's just going to be a mouse cam. You know, you can have a keyboard and mouse cam, but for me, I'm just going to have my mouse cam. I'm really sorry for how bad it looks. Okay, so we have our camera here. Now, where you want to put your camera, that's really all up to you. Okay, so we're going to have the camera. I'm going to keep it on the left side of the screen just because that's how I like it. I'm going to take this corner here, resize it, put it down here. Now we have our camera done. Let's continue on to add some social media tags. So we're going to add an image. Okay, browse. Going to resize this down. And what you want to do to not have it lock all over the place, I'm going to hold down Control. I'm going to put it just down there, resize this a bit. It might look really small at first, but it is not going to look small on a full screen window. I'm going to add some text. Going to go for impact this time. And you have multiple options over here. The color, I'm just going to leave it white. Depending on what games you're playing, you might want to change this, perhaps add a border to it. Now, really, if you want to set this up professionally, most likely you go into Photoshop, create your own text image file, and slap it on there, just as you slap on any image. Just going to leave that here. Just keep everything default. Hold down Control, align it myself, and done. And same process applies to all other things. Now, something you might want to do just to make things a bit simpler is rename all your layers over here. So I'm going to do that real quick just by right clicking and pressing rename. Okay, so now that we have this here, we're going to move on to something slightly more complicated. We are going to add a live